Assalamu alaikum. 6 p.m. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Sumera Kamal. The headlines first. A meeting of Council of Common Interests chaired by Prime Minister in Islamabad today discussed 7-point agenda, including energy and water issues. Information Minister says any decision about shifting of Radio Pakistan's headquarters in Islamabad to Pakistan Broadcasting Academy will be taken after consulting the employees. Minister for Human Rights informed the Senate today that visa problems of Pakistani citizens living in Kuwait will be taken up during a meeting of Pak-Kuwait Joint Ministerial Commission to be held in Islamabad on Thursday. Foreign Minister will lead Pakistan delegation at the 73rd session of a UN General Assembly beginning in New York tomorrow. Chairman Senate Standing Committee on Foreign Affairs says inclusion of Saudi Arabia in CPAC will provide a new trade route between China and the Gulf countries. Russia has announced to supply a modern air defense missile system to Syria within a fortnight. Now the news in detail. The first committee of the Council of Common Interests under the PTI government held in Islamabad today. The meeting, chaired by Prime Minister Imran Khan, deliberated on a 7-point agenda, including the issues of energy and water. According to the Ministry of Inter-Provincial Coordination, the meeting discussed import of liquefied natural gas, launching a countrywide cleanliness drive, and setting up a task force for streamlining regulatory functions. The Petroleum and Exploration and Production Policy 2012 and matters pertaining to Workers' Welfare Fund and Employees' Old Age Benefits Institution also came under discussion during the meeting. The Ministry of Water Resources presented a summary on allocation of 1,200 cusics additional water for Karachi City K4 project. Resolution of energy problems of Balochistan, including enhancement of absorption energy, limited supply of water in Pat feeder and Kirthar canals also came under discussion. Information Minister Chaudhry Fawad Hussain today held talks with the representatives of Radio Pakistan's protesting employees regarding the ministry's proposal to give building of Radio Pakistan's headquarters on lease and shifting of National Broadcasting House to Pakistan Broadcasting Academy in H9 Islamabad. Later, speaking at the protest demonstration being staged by Radio Pakistan's employees over the decision at the Constitution Avenue in Islamabad, the minister said the headquarters is not being shifted within a month. He said the employees will be consulted regarding the issue. Chaudhry Fawad Hussain said institutions cannot grow until employees are satisfied with their working conditions. Earlier, PPP leaders, including Senator Farhatullah Babar, Khurshid Shah, Nafisa Shah, and former Information Minister Maryam Aurangzeb visited the protesting employees of Radio Pakistan and expressed solidarity with them. They said Radio Pakistan is a national institution and it needs to be strengthened. Talking to newsmen on the occasion, Maryam Aurangzeb urged the government to avoid taking the step. She said the opposition will support the government for reforms, but nothing should be done against interests of national institutions like Radio Pakistan. Minister for Human Rights Shiri Mazari said visa problems being faced by Pakistani citizens living in Kuwait will be taken up with Kuwaiti authorities to address problems of overseas Pakistanis. Responding to a calling attention notice in the Senate, she said Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi is going to hold a meeting with his Kuwaiti counterpart on the sidelines of UN General Assembly session in New York and will raise this issue with him. The minister said this issue will also be taken up during a 2-day Pak-Kuwait Joint Ministerial Commission scheduled to be held in Islamabad on Thursday. She said in 2011, Kuwait had unofficially banned visas to the nationals of various countries, which include Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Syria, Iraq, Yemen, and Iran on the pretext of their alleged involvement in drug trafficking and criminal offenses. Shiri Mazari said, on the other hand, Indian citizens are getting visas in large numbers and other privileges. Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi has arrived in New York to lead the Pakistan delegation at the 73rd session of the UN General Assembly beginning tomorrow. He was received at the railway station by Pakistan's ambassador to the UN, Maliha Lodhi, and senior officials of the Pakistan mission to the UN. The foreign minister will address the General Assembly session on Saturday. During his visit, Shah Mahmood Qureshi will also attend several high-level events and hold close to 24 bilateral meetings with his counterparts from around the world. Overseas Pakistanis residing in Dubai have donated $7,56,000 for construction of Damir Bhasha Dam. The donation was made at a function in Dubai, which was attended by PTI Senator Faisal Javed. On the occasion, Faisal Javed thanked for the donation, saying overseas Pakistanis residing in foreign countries are center of hopes for Prime Minister Imran Khan. This is Radio Pakistan. President Dr. Arif Alvi inaugurated a countrywide polio vaccination campaign in Islamabad today. He administered polio drops to the children of slum area in Islamabad. The president on the occasion paid tribute to all concerned institutions and personnel for continuing the campaign despite several threats. Chairman Senate Standing Committee on Foreign Affairs, Senator Mushahid Hussain Sayyid, has welcomed Pakistan's offer to Saudi Arabia to become the third partner in China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, and said it would provide a new trade route between China and the Gulf countries. Speaking in Beijing after attending a conference on Belt and Road, he said the corridor is not only meant for China and Pakistan, but it is a framework of development and connectivity for other countries of the region and beyond as well. Pakistan and Poland have agreed to further enhance mutual collaboration in various fields with particular focus on defense ties. This was agreed during a meeting between visiting Polish Air Force Brigadier General Chikak Pesoksola and Pakistan Air Force Chief Mujahid Anwar Khan in Islamabad today. Chief of Polish Air Force paid homage to the martyrs of PAF by laying floral wreath on Martyrs Monument. Chief of Polish Air Force lauded the high morale and sound professionalism of PAF personnel. Azad Jammu Kashmir President Sardar Masood Khan has denounced the provocative statements emanating from the Indian side. Addressing a news conference in Islamabad today along with Lord Nazir, he said that irresponsible statements have exposed the real ugly face of India. Sardar Masood said India has missed a diplomatic opportunity by backtracking from the meeting of foreign ministers on the sidelines of UN General Assembly session in New York. Russia has decided to supply a modern air defense missile system to Syria within a fortnight. Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu said in Moscow today that S-300 surface-to-air missile system will significantly increase the Syrian army's combat capabilities. Russia has taken the decision in a week after it blamed Israel for indirectly causing the downing of a Russian military plane, killing 15 Russian service members in Syria. The United States and China have imposed fresh tariffs on each other's goods. U.S. tariffs on $200 billion worth of Chinese goods and retaliatory tariffs by Beijing on $60 billion worth of U.S. products took effect today. The two countries have already slapped tariffs on $50 billion worth of each other's goods earlier this year. Israeli forces have martyred a Palestinian and wounded 20 others during a protest along Gaza border. Israeli army has so far martyred 184 Palestinians and wounded thousands since the Gazans began holding weekly border protests on March 30th. And finally, the weather. Mainly dry weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, rain thunder shower is expected at isolated places in Malakand, Lahore, Gujranwala divisions, Gilgit-Baltistan, and Kashmir. To end the news, here are some of the headlines once again. A meeting of Council of Common Interest chaired by Prime Minister in Islamabad today discussed a 7-point agenda, including energy and water issues. Information Minister says any decision about the shifting of Radio Pakistan's headquarters in Islamabad to Pakistan Broadcasting Academy will be taken after consulting the employees. Minister for Human Rights informed the Senate today that visa problems of Pakistani citizens living in Kuwait will be taken up during a meeting of Pak-Kuwait Joint Ministerial Commissions to be held in Islamabad on Thursday. Foreign Minister will lead Pakistan delegation at the 73rd session of UN General Assembly beginning in New York tomorrow. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and also watch live streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/radio Pakistan News Official.